please.
In spite of all the wonderful programs that our staff is implementing and have been implementing.
I think it reflects a tremendous effort on the part of the board, the staff, our administrative team to strategically align how we invest limited resources in support of great work, because our students deserve it, every one of them, I'm pleased with where we've positioned ourselves, looking forward, and I think that will support our work.
Well, that's the only reason I'm in this room, and that connection has to be drawn from what our results are from an adult way of measuring things back to the students. And as long as that direct line is intact, then I think as a community, we're providing our kids what they need.
Well, one thing that I stated last Wednesday that I'll restate is that if you look at research coming out of John Hatie, Visible Thinking, he talks about what schools that are being successful are doing, and they recognize that the most important factor that influences a student's learning in schools is the teacher in the classroom. And the second most important factor that influences student learning in the classroom is the support that's provided to teachers in the form of professional development. And if we're to truly think about education as a profession, it suggests that, to me, that if anything, we're not investing as much as we should be into their development, and that we need to continuously strive to allocate as much of the funding that we have available to us to support their development.
It just makes me think of something that you'd like to say a lot: equity and excellence. Everybody's getting it. It's equally that way, and it's promoting excellence. I love it. I'm excited.
One of the things that I'll mention too that I'm excited about, as teachers come together over the course of the summer to engage in professional development that results in real tangible results in the classroom through the development of these units of study that integrate across discipline, that engage students at high level, that our staff have embraced this old-fashioned notion that it's hard work. None of this happens without putting in the hard work, and our staff is committed to that. And I think one of the benefits isn't just for children, but it's for families as well, and for our educational partners within our community, whether that be Classroom in Bloom, who I just met with today, or Met How Arts, who are asking, well, what is taking place within your classrooms, and how can we be a part of that? How can we align enriching activities that align with the curriculum that your teachers are designing? And when I ask parents when I talk with parents and ask, what's the unit of study that's taking place within your own child's classroom? And I'm a parent myself with a child in kindergarten, and like other parents, I'm not always sure. And if I were to be asked, well, what's happening in the other kindergarten classroom, I might not be able to describe that. And one of the things that the IB framework provides is the opportunity for us to design a curriculum that's unique to the Metcalfe Valley. students to know what's being taught, and ultimately when it's being taught over the course of time. And then also, I think as a parent, that would be a great support in thinking about, well, what is it that I can, I might be interested in contributing, and where might that fit within the curriculum that we've designed within our schools. So, and that goes back to why it requires coordination as well, and coaching and support. So, thanks.
Anything else? Consent agenda?
I move we approve the consent agenda.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the consent agenda. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We have a resolution under action. Entertain a motion.
Yeah, Madam Chairperson, I want to preface, take a minute and preface that I've been involved with the school district as far as being with the school board for going, this will be the 12th year, and I've seen a lot of changes, and I've seen a lot of different programs. This International Baccalaureate framework, understanding it's not a curriculum, is probably the most important and most far-reaching, and have something that have the biggest positive impact on our students that I've been involved with, that I've had the opportunity to voice a public opinion on. I've listened to everybody's opinions, and I respect them all, particularly the ones tonight, and from the folks that have questions about it, because there are a lot of the same questions that I have had. And those questions are answered in my mind positively. And if you read our mission statement, which is to expect, encourage, and facilitate the pursuit of excellence in our students, preparing them for a world in which lifelong learning is critical to their success and happiness. And the fact that I trust implicitly our professional administrators, and especially our teachers, I move that we approve Resolution 03.24.2015 and effectively voice our support for the pursuit of the candidacy for the International Baccalaureate program.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve resolution 030415. Any discussion?
Well, I'd like to add to what Frank said. I'm going on 76. I started teaching when I was 20. I have 2 master's degrees and 2 doctorates, all in education. I've seen wonderful teaching, and I've been a clinical supervisor to almost 59. She was my 59th this year, student teachers. So I think I can speak as someone who understands education and the benefits of it. And I've dedicated my life to it, and Anne gave me a stack of books like this to read through about this program. And every sentence I read made me excited about what it will bring to our children. And I'm absolutely thrilled to be a part of this. And I do think that what Anne said at the meeting last week, this is just to put our foot in the water, to see where it goes, and see what happens with the children, and see how the parents begin to enjoy what their children are enjoying. So.
Well, you two have been really, I can't think of the word that I want to think of, but eloquent. Thank you very much. Yes. you have been very eloquent, and I echo your sentiments. I'm newer on the board than the two of you, but it is a step, I think, in nothing but positive and equitable and excellent directions for our children, who are our future. So, shall we vote? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. So, for board business, we have future items. Spring break being which means that we may want to reschedule our board meeting that occurs during the middle of spring break. I know I personally will be out of town, so we can just cancel that. I think Liz, is there anything that we need to address financially at the first meeting?
We got paid these teachers, we're talking about it.
No, okay, so we don't need to do any kind of deferral or anything?
That's
We
right, we
just-
got that moved.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so, okay, we'll take care of financials at the second meeting.
I think the question is whether or not the 22nd is late enough for payroll to, or whether or not the recommendation for the board to consider moving it to Wednesday, the 29th, to ensure that payroll is processed
Right.
appropriately.
Correct.
I'm mixed up.
Right now, we have a board meeting scheduled for Wednesday, April
22nd.
22nd.
Right.
And
Why can't we just cancel it?
right, we could.
Not move it,
Oh, yeah,
cancel it.
sure. And just have one in
Yeah.
April.
Have a special
Yeah,
meeting
that's what I was
on the
suggesting.
29th.
Yeah.
Unless there's compelling,
No, we want to allow time for all the financials and payroll and everything to be
that's
processed.
the first meeting.
That's not.
No, it would be the second meeting.
Well, what I'm saying is that happens at the next meeting, because it doesn't happen at the end of the month anymore. It's, right, Liz?
For the, I'm getting lost too. The first meeting is,
April 8th.
Well, we should
Right.
probably
The
deal with them
first,
separately.
the first meeting of the month, so it would be May, the first meeting in May would take care of it, because I thought that
Okay.
we had the motion that it was, I thought that's what we did.
I hear what you're
I know
saying.
what you're saying.
So there's no need.
Okay, so then we don't need to.
There's no compelling need for that reason. I'm not saying that there might not be another reason that I'm not aware of, but that is not a compelling reason.
Okay, so let's take a step back
Okay.
and deal with the scheduled meeting on April 8th, which is in the middle
Oh,
of
the-
spring break.
Oh, that's, yeah, now I'm managing.
Yeah.
Now
You
we're all-
know, you
we're all
did it
in the woods
yourself now,
together.
isn't it?
We're all in the woods together now.
You're really confused.
Okay,
me.
April
I feel
8th
like it's
Who's
coming.
on first?
is
Yeah, right.
is the second Wednesday of the month.
Sorry about that.
And there is a meeting scheduled that night. I would propose that we just cancel that meeting
On April 8th.
on April 8th.
Cancel April 8th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Is there any
I'm looking to get.
further discussion?
Oh, that is the second because of, because of.
Yeah, because it falls on the first. Yeah.
Okay,
Got it?
so we won't have any meetings that month.
Well, we can
I'm
have
just
a
kidding,
meeting.
I'm just
We
kidding.
have a-
I just-
Oh, no, you
I
can't get out of
resist.
that
I
easy.
couldn't resist. I'll second that. That's
Okay,
what
we don't need to, yeah.
Okay.
All right, so, we will not meet on the 8th, we will meet on the 22nd.
We will meet on the 22nd.
And, well, the
Okay.
question, so the question Liz raised to me that I
Yeah.
wanted to put in front of you as a board is whether or not it should stay on the 22nd, or whether or not the
Move
board
to the
would
29th.
consider moving it to the 29th, which would provide adequate time to process payroll.
I don't have any problem.
Now I follow what you're
I
saying.
don't either. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay, so,
Which means we'll have another meeting about a week later.
no, actually 2 weeks. It is actually 2 weeks because of how the dates fall in the
Okay.
month, so
All right.
that works out beautifully,
So April
actually.
9th is canceled.
April 8th.
That's what's supposed to do for me up here. I'm on the wrong, for
You're on the
some
wrong
reason this
month.
phone went to 2014.
Your last year.
Gee.
You're living in the past, Frank.
Yeah, it's a lot more calm.
April, you like the past? April 8th
Going
will
backward
happen,
is
but there
wonderful.
won't be a meeting on that day. The day hasn't been canceled. The meeting on April 22nd will be moved to April 29th.
This would be fun to see when we all actually show up.
So,
I'm gonna call you, Frank.
so one meeting in April and it's on the 29th.
Correct.
Okay.
Gary summed it up
Takes an
perfectly.
electrician to get it really quick.
Well,
Okay.
I was hanging on to the saddle horn with both hands.
Nothing wrong with that.
Okay, and at that point, we'll be talking about some plans for evaluating. Any other?
Is there any, now, what about the May talk we had? Is that out for now?
May's good.
Okay,
May's
okay,
staying
I was
normal
just trying to
Oh.
clarify.
okay.
in your own way.
Good, we're good.
Okay, any
Serious.
other business?
Don okay, do you think? I mean, was this, anybody know where he is?
He wasn't at, I was over there for a little bit at the end of baseball practice, or not at the end, but
And he
close to
wasn't
the end. He wasn't there.
Maybe he's up in Alaska then.
I can't
He doesn't
imagine.
usually go during
Yeah,
baseball.
yeah, maybe something's wrong, maybe he's got a problem. Okay,
Check in.
check on him.
I didn't
Find
go
out.
down and ask anybody, because I didn't want to hear him, but, he
Cause
wasn't there.
I can't imagine him not being here unless he had
Yeah,
really good reason.
yeah.
I do have something to say before you guys finish. You guys have done a great job with our school up until today. I'm very disappointed. There's 100 to 150 people on this signature, and you guys didn't even listen to them. You guys didn't even look through the packet to see what we had to say. How could you do that to us? We were the parents. Now, I'm concerned for special ed and a few other little things that I talked to Tom about and a few other people. And when I brought it up to you guys last week about taking a vote or taking a poll, because I hear in the valley, I'm neutral. I'm not going to say whether or not I'm for it. I'm not going to say whether or not I'm against it. I'm Switzerland. I'm neutral. But I hear everybody. This valley is divided ever since this IB program was brought up. I have never, in my 31 years of living in this valley, been this divided over a certain program. You guys, you may think you're doing it for the best of the kids. I can understand that. That's why you guys are in charge. That's why we vote you in. That's why we kind of trust you. But tonight, you guys didn't even stop and think about the signatures that are on those papers, about what the parents have to say. And I am disappointed. I am solely disappointed. This is not how I raised my son. I make sure he knows how everybody feels before he makes a decision. I work in the public. I listen to everybody. That's the way I am. I'm a watcher. I'm a listener. But today, I'm disappointed in our school. I'm a 12-year graduate of this school. My family was the first frontiers of Mazama, Winthrop, and Carleton. That is how long my family history has run through this valley. My roots probably go a lot deeper than most people. And today, I am sad. You didn't listen to us. You didn't listen to the parents who were against it. You only listened to for yourself. And I looked up your candidacy phase. I did a lot of my own research instead of listening for people who are against it, or listening to the people who are for it. I did my own research. When you hit the candidacy phase, and I printed it off so I can know what's been said. Required text for candidate schools to use in marketing. This has come from your guys' own MB program. And Frank, you just quoted it. Right to the dot.
I understand what you're saying.
I may have heard it a few times. This is what you quoted. And I've heard it from Tom.
That's our mission statement.
Yeah,
That-
and it comes from their own IB.
Well, I don't know about that. All I know is what our mission statement
Yeah.
is.
Which is also the IB mission statement. That's why I'm like,
So-
oh, I've heard that before.
So what's
Okay.
wrong with that?
There's nothing.
Okay.
But,
No, there is a lot of stuff wrong with that.
okay. But today, you guys didn't listen. You guys didn't even hesitate to stop and actually look what Ginny and the guys brought to you. You know, me, that's just me. I would have, if I was on the school board, a teacher, or somebody other than just a parent, I would have stopped. And went, well, you know what? There's a lot of people against it. Maybe you should wait off a couple of days. See what they say. Don't agree with it?
Hey,
Sign
thanks.
the paper.
Thanks a lot for your comments. I appreciate it because and the reason I just said what I'm cutting you off,
It's fine.
no, is because I did listen. And I'm taking it very personal when somebody accuses me of not listening. I listened to every word. I thought about every comment. I read most of this stuff which we had access to before. I don't know about some of the stuff Jeannie gave us, but the petitions were readily available. I listened to every word that everybody said.
I'm
My
sorry.
decision was not based on ignorance on any level.
And I
So-
apologize for
And
that.
I am sorry that we don't agree, but at some point, as you listen, and I agree, you're a great listener. At some point, you have to take on a principle. In this case, the principle is what's best, what I feel is best for the least advantaged student in our school district. Okay, that's what I base my decision on.
And I
And a
appreciate
chance to give them the equal opportunity as the highest advantaged student that we might have from a family. We have a big disparity of incomes in this valley.
Mhm.
We have to make sure that the student that has the least financial backing has the same exact opportunities as the one that has the most.
Okay.
And that's what we're trying to do, and that's what that motion that I made is an effort to accomplish.
And I
And it's a
appreciate that.
step in that direction. It may not be the right step, but you don't know until you take it. And you have caring, loving, dedicated professionals in these buildings that will not allow it to go the wrong way, or will drop out of this just as a lot faster than we have taken to go forward on it.
Okay.
So just be assured of that.
See, and now since you've told me that, Frank, I feel a lot better.
Well,
Because
good.
that was not told to us.
Well, and I might add, I read the bulletin board, I read the petition, I saw the names. I've talked and talked and talked to lots and lots of people. And we have been listening. We've been listening to
Yeah.
everybody that talks to us.
The bulletin board, I stay off of it because half the time if I hop on it, it's so full of drama, it's not even funny.
We don't stay off it.
I do, because to me, it's like a bunch of hugga. But that's who I am, because I like to stay out of the drama. But Frank, I want to say thank you. Because now since you said that, because no one ever said that until now. I appreciate your honesty, and I appreciate what you do for the school. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome, and thank you. for your-
Because you guys have done an awesome job. You really have. I've had no problems with this school, except for special ed every now and then. But I handle those problems myself. I go to Ann. You know, and I haven't had to come to you guys at all for any major problems. That is how good you guys are doing. But tonight, you know, so I just wanted to get that out there.
I
and like
understand
I-
that, and I hope we made the right decision.
And I hope you guys did too. I am very concerned for my son and his disabilities and a few other things that I've talked to Tom about.
Well, you've got a lot of people concerned about your son as
Yeah.
equally as they're concerned with every other student.
You know, and like you said, and I appreciate your guys' honesty with us. That is something I appreciate. And like, you know, but I'm gonna leave.
Thank you.
Because my legs are shaking and I'm nervous.
Can I just ask, you know, I've kind of brought it up a couple times, never really had a chance to hear an answer, but why would this decision to move forward be made without having checked with the schools where IB failed? I really believe,
Because we're trying to, my take on that And the reason that I would support that is not one decision I've made, and this is just my personal take, not one decision I've ever made in my life have I investigated with people failing.
It's not people failing, it's failures of this program.
I'm giving you an example. So when I'm trying to do something to improve myself, I don't look for the problems. I look for what is being done the best way, that's having the success. Of course there are going to be programs that fail. And when you look into them, you don't know what that might be. It might be a lack of, it might be politics that enters into it. It might be a lack of support of the community as a whole. It could be all of that.
But how do you know if you don't look into it? That's what I'm saying. There are documented problems with the program. Questions that in my mind, you can't just blow off as, oh, they didn't do it right. I don't think that applies to only looking at how you can be better, because in this case, when you're evaluating something, I don't know how you can evaluate something without looking at the negative side. It's like buying a car. Buying used versus new. Less money, don't know what the downsides of the used car are. Different brands of cars, some of them have different reputations. You have to look into the reputation. If you only look at the bright sides, how can you make a reasonable decision without looking at the negative sides? I just can't comprehend that.
Fair enough.
And I agree. As do I.
So, like I said, I appreciate how much effort you guys put into this school. I really do. That's just a huge question. I can't figure out.
I'll tell you, when you say you guys, I hope you're talking about the teachers, because they're the ones that put the effort in. The amount of extra work that they do to make themselves better and to pursue a framework like this that gives them continuity so that they know what they're doing in first grade will have meaning to the people in second grade, and the people in second grade will have meaning to the third grade. Those are the people that are teaching in these schools that have done all the work. And they're the ones that we need to trust. They're the ones that are dealing with our kids. They're not dealing with the political concerns. They're not dealing with the difference in, I don't know where this religion thing even comes into it, because being thinking and open-minded doesn't mean that it has nothing to do with religion.
It's the way they teach.
Yeah, it's.
There should be separation between church and
We
state.
need to trust our teachers.
There's some of them I do, and some of them are close personal friends, and I've talked to them, and they do not even know that Coeur d'Alene tried and it failed there. They don't even know that these negative things are out there, because they are trusting in your leadership, and they're not going out and they haven't been doing their own research. Tom said when he came in, he listened to the teachers. He heard what they wanted. What they wanted was this framework. He told them, here is this great framework. And they were all excited about it. And that's great. I agree with having a framework that supports our teachers. But I don't think those teachers know that.
They were asking some of the same questions that you and others have been asking from the get-go. And it wasn't simply, yes, we embrace this. They visited schools. They had staff come visit them. They've attended workshops. They've engaged in a pretty exhaustive process of evaluating the program and believe that the framework will serve them well in terms of their professional development, and that it provides us with freedom and the flexibility to fill that framework with a curriculum that is uniquely resembles the Met Power.
But see, and I've read, several examples I have in the information right there, that you don't really have that flexibility with IB. They come in and they do evaluation of the school. I just read one, was reading one this afternoon.
I understand that you've read that, but I'll tell you that given my
It's an evaluation from IB, from an IB evaluator of the school in the United States.
I don't care what IB says. We run this school district. I don't care what IB says.
Well, you're going to have to, because our school's going to be an IB school.
Ma'am, don't tell me what I have to do.
No, it's what they tell you.
You're telling us
So-
what we have to do.
Let's just take a minute here.
I would like to say, I respect all of you. Don't mean any disrespect. I just would like to voice my opinion. You mentioned that we have to trust our teachers. I'd like to tell you a little story about my children and my experience. when I first went back to work, I have 3 children, 7, 4, and 1. When I first went back to work after my son was born, I trusted him to a known daycare facility here that was, you know, everybody swore by it. It's great. You know, we all send our kids here. They didn't take proper care of my son. He was coming home not properly cared for. So I quit working, stayed home, had my daughter, decided I needed to go back to work. Well, figured, well, I'll have somebody come into my own home that, you know, has been known to babysit around the valley and has lots of years of experience, has children of her own. And I did that for a few months. My daughter was 10 months old. My son was 3 at the time. And come to find out, within a few months, I trusted these people. They were actually people, I had worked with her husband. Come to find out, their son ended up being arrested for being a pedophile. And I trusted these people. I had come to learn not to trust other people's opinion, not to rely on what other people tell me, but to form my own opinion through research and finding facts and through experience. And through my research of what I have done, I would love to say, you know, I trust the teachers, but I don't trust anybody with my children and their future, other than myself and my husband. We rely on ourselves. And, you know, the teachers may think this is a fantastic thing, but I don't think that there's been as much research done as should have been. And I think also there should have been much more information given to the parents much earlier, so so more of the community had time to look into IB and research it. But, you know, these are our children. Yes, the teachers, I understand that you want to support them and do all that, but these are our children, and we need to have a say in this. And you guys backed us into a corner to where this is the one school district that we have. The one school that we have. My son has he thrives on this school. He's the youngest in his class. He does fantastic. You guys already have a great program in place. I don't understand the need to change it. You know, you say to support the teachers, but, you know, your job is also to support our students, and I know you think that this might be doing that, but you're already doing a fantastic job with our kids. So I don't understand that, and especially I don't understand why we were not brought in on this. Because, you know, they're our children. That's all I have to say.
Okay, I think we'll draw this meeting to a close.
Gotta try and fix what's not broken.
Is that what it is? I didn't know.
It's special. Yeah.
Thanks, Jenny.
See ya.
Do you want to call?
You want me to give that to Don?
No, I will.